Shalom,
How's that?
shalom. Welcome to the channel. Shalom, shalom. Welcome to the channel. Good. It's a nice background, you just have
Oh.
the palm trees.
Shalom, family. Shalom. Welcome to this channel.
It's always good to
Thanks
have
for the
palm trees.
intro. You might want to put that up a little bit.
I think it's always good to have palm trees around.
Put your mic up a little bit.
I think they can hear me. I pretty much yell like that.
Yeah.
It's a little hang in
Yes.
there.
Yes. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Shalom, shalom. Thanks for tuning in, guys. When you enter the chat, make sure you like the video. Like I said, we got a lot of things to talk about today. This video gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna talk about our journey because this is Journey with Us.
Yeah. Welcome.
And yes, welcome to the channel. Thanks for all the new subscribers. Thank you guys for liking the video. Thank you guys for sharing the video, and we appreciate everybody that tunes in and like to listen to us live.
Yeah, I think that people now, they're just at a point in America where they're like, I need to figure out how to survive. And so people are more apt now for pertinent information. I think even more so than
Exactly.
2020.
And this comment, right? The first comment we get, that's what we're gonna be talking about too. Where can
Where
one
can
book?
one book a one-to-one call? We'll leave a link in the description.
Yes, yes, and we're gonna be talking about that. How we started our business. What in 2016, 2017?
Yeah, that's crazy to think about. Where were
Yeah.
you working in 2016? In 2016, my grandma passed away. 2017, my
sure.
dad passed away. Where were you working?
I'm not sure, guys. You have to excuse me. We was in the pool earlier, and my allergies is hitting me hard. So like I keep rubbing my eye, my nose is running, I'm sniffing. So I apologize early.
Yeah.
But I'm
It's
gonna be
good.
doing it all video. But yes, we are here. We are here. What's the title of the video?
The title is because this shocked me when I saw the notification because you were looking at your trade stuff and you saw like a big change in the market.
Yeah, this is not even what we was about to talk about, but it just happened.
Yeah, it happened out of nowhere. And then the notification, they said on investing.com, there's a 3.5% increase in inflation annually. So back in 2021, it was 6.5%. And then now in 2024, it's 3.5%, but they wanted it to be at 3.2. So that tells them that it's starting to climb back up. Even though the news and CNN and the folks are telling the people, oh, we have lots of jobs. Oh, everything's good. It's not a recession. The inflation is slowing down. And yet they were just shocked to realize, oh, the inflation isn't slowing down. I mean, that's kind of obvious from everybody that's been ranting on TikTok, but maybe I'm just tripping. I don't know. I think that's obvious. Do y'all think it's obvious that inflation is increasing in America and they're kind of lying to you?
Yeah, and the pay is the pay that you get paid is staying the same.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Literally.
Exactly. That's crazy how the pay will stay the same. Well, apparently in California, they just increased the minimum wage to $20.
Yes.
So it's crazy that the pay stays the same, but you have this hyperinflation. In Ohio, I think minimum wage is like $10 now.
Maybe. California. What is it, like 22 or something?
It's 20. In Ohio, it's 10. So yeah, y'all, this inflation, this debt, and another thing, the average American has about $38,000 in personal debt. So this whole video is about how we got out of debt and stay out of debt as young folks, because we're not even 30 years old.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that. We didn't even hit 30 yet. But we've managed to stay out of debt, get rid of debt, and basically live a successful life outside of America for 4 years now. Have been entrepreneurs for 8 years. Just this month, 8-year anniversary.
Yeah, really.
I think we need to get a cake to celebrate. Maybe. I know you don't like cake that, but you should celebrate. Like balloons, that's a big milestone because most Black businesses fail within 1 to 3 years.
How you know?
I'll look up statistics. You know I love statistics. I love data.
Yes.
Most Black businesses fail within 1 to 3 years. So thanks to the Most High's grace for that part. But let's talk about our journey.
Yeah. Our journey. What we it's been 10 years since we've been together,
Yeah.
and that's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
We're not even 30 years old yet, and we've been together 10 years.
Right. Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most
Yeah.
people, I guess, when we was hearing people, yeah, we've been together 10 years. It's like, what, for real? That's a long time.
Yeah.
Ah, it just feels like 5 kids later for us.
Five kids. I'm done with you. 5 kids later.
It feels like five children later.
Yeah. So where were you? Where were you working in 2016?
2016,
Because
what?
that's like the start of our entrepreneurship journey. Tangibly in our mind, we were saying, hey, we're going to move to Africa eventually. Let's start having a business so that we can be freedom based people and live abroad.
Yeah, 2016. I was working what? I think I was working at City Barbecue. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
working at a barbecue place. Um, and what? I was like a grill master. So I used to grill like pork, some ribs,
Right.
some brisket, some chicken, you know, everything like that. Barbecue, smoker. The smoker goes.
Yeah.
I loaded up. It was very good. I was the best. I was the best. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's why I love to cook now.
Yeah.
But after that, I think after that year, they try to bump me up into the kitchen where I have to like serve the food and prepare the food and everything like that. So at that point, I always realized like, man, I always realized that I was somebody special, like something special, right? Because each job that I would get, they would bump me up to a leadership position.
Yeah. Within like 2 months.
Yeah, like
Every
yeah,
time.
like
Even
really,
with that semi truck. You was
exactly,
going state to state
exactly. So it's like
trucking.
you got to know your worth, and once you really start to
Hmm.
step into your worth, it's gonna work out. Um, Hold on, but you want to turn these lights on?
Yeah. I was trying to use the light for my laptop. It might not be enough. The
Yeah,
ones inside?
no, right here on the outside.
No, the switch is inside.
Yeah,
The
but yeah,
switches.
but yeah, like I was saying, I always knew that I was always something special. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. Or maybe we gotta like turn the table or something, turn the camera. They can hear us, so they just gotta see us. You gotta move your laptop.
Move my laptop or put the yeah, that'll work. Maybe if you go like this. I don't know.
Dang.
Does that help it? I
Where
don't know
my
if that
head
helps
at?
y'all. Well, they can hear you.
Yeah,
They
I
can
hope
see us
that
good
helps,
enough. I
guys. Yeah,
think
yeah.
they're good.
But this what else? Just like I was just saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
It goes back to high school. Like
Okay.
really, when you really start to know your place and stuff. So when I was a freshman in high school, I did football, I did wrestling, and I did track. And I remember my freshman year in wrestling. I'm new to wrestling. I think I tried wrestling like 1 year before that, and then my ninth grade year in high school, they voted for captain, and
As a
but
freshman.
as a freshman, but the coach came to me and said, "Hey, you got most of the votes, but we have 5 seniors, and they've been wrestling for 4 years, so we can't
The
just let
struggle.
you
The
be
younger
captain."
generation.
So I'm like, okay. I mean, I
Oh
understand,
man.
but he said, just do your best, keep working hard. Track season came. No, that was my sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
Track season. Track season. There'd be a lot of people running track.
Yeah.
I was a captain, and I'm like, man, like me personally, I just like to work hard. I just like to try to perfect my craft. That's basically it. You
Yeah, you
really try
gotta
to
perfect your craft.
be perfect with everything that you do.
Yes, fun.
But as we know, nobody's perfect besides the Most High. But you got to strive for that.
Mhm.
So I'm starting to realize, like, man, everywhere, like everything I do, people is really looking at me like a leader. Even when I went to work at the moving company, right?
Yeah.
I was what? I didn't have a driving license either. I think my
Yeah, you
stuff was
got
suspended.
promoted with no driving.
Yeah,
You be having that supernatural favor.
yeah.
You be like
I ain't have no driver's license.
Oh my god.
But I was working under somebody for 2 weeks. He's like, man, he's good. Bump him up. Let him get
This
his
was
own truck.
2018?
2018. Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. They're telling me, yeah, you can drive your own truck. You gonna be the one that's going to Columbus to Cincinnati. That's like 2 hours away. You're gonna handle that. Sometimes you can go to Kentucky and stuff. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, man, this what? I don't got no like. And in my head, I'm like, dang, I don't got no license, babe. I gotta get a license. I gotta figure this out because if
Yeah.
something happened, that'd be bad. But all praises, the Most High always looks out. But with me saying that, I always knew that, I kind of had to do my own thing, like being humble and realizing that who I am. It just brings us to 2017.
2017?
Yeah, where you started.
Oh yeah, 2016, 2017, blog writing at Nationwide Children's Hospital on healthcare. I worked multiple different healthcare jobs. I did the mental hospital for a while on night shift, writing my business plan, then purchased some investment courses at Nationwide Children's Hospital while I'm like on break in patients' rooms to master freelance writing. By the way, just so y'all know, this video is sponsored by Black Educators Amplified. Black Educators Amplified is our 8-week group coaching program that only has 3 slots now because somebody just signed up like 10 hours ago. So it only has 3 slots now. It begins April 21st. It's specifically for experts and educators that want to have or already have a consulting business but want to sign more clients. So you can check that out and learn more about that in the link in the description. But I was investing in business writing courses because I love writing. And so I started Tiffy G Writes, which originally was a lifestyle blog, and then it merged into our business where we registered it, started signing clients. And man, I mean, we've worked with very large companies too, like companies that, like
Millions.
y'all, seriously, and started out at the very grassroots level.
Shalom, family.
These
Welcome.
companies are now in Target. These companies are global powerhouses. Some are education tech platforms. So that's just a little bit of our journey, how we got out of debt. The number one thing to getting out of debt.
But you gotta talk about your journey.
That was a journey.
You that was fast.
Yeah, that's me.
You gotta explain to them like what you like when you were a child.
Okay.
You always loved to write, right?
Yeah.
That's how you talk to me. Hey, yeah, I always loved to write. I always loved to read, and you just knew that this was for you, right?
I didn't always know till somebody at the mental hospital told me you can get paid to write.
Exactly.
I just thought, okay, I'd have
little
to be
journeys like that, where it's not like you just wanted to do this, but you was just called to do it.
Right.
And it brought you to you not working.
Yeah.
Or you working for yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Because I had always wanted to be in healthcare, and I was in healthcare. Then I got burned out and got tired of it, y'all. If y'all have ever worked in a mental hospital, healthcare is a lot. I'm so glad I got out of that. And so it's literally like your talent and your creative expertise will end up chasing you in life because that's just how it is. So this is just our journey of getting out of debt. Like the number one thing we did, and also both of us grew up in households where we were told, because y'all have seen in previous videos, if you're new here and you're subscribing, we both grew up in an Ashkenazi Jewish community. My husband, he didn't come to that community until he was 12, I think, but I grew up there from age 5. And so my dad always taught me, he was like, don't get a bunch of credit card debt. This is why a lot of Americans are in trouble now. This is why a lot of you guys are in trouble having all of this credit card debt. And then we know the Bible says that a borrower is always a slave to the lender. This is foundational. This is foundational in the book of Deuteronomy. And so if you know that's the truth, why put yourself in more credit card debt? But we see the average American has $38,000 of debt. That's not including their mortgage, which, by the way, the root word of mortgage is that mort, which means death, right? So you're paying it until death. And then fast forward even a little bit from what we were just talking about with becoming a writer. There was a time when my dad, he had high blood pressure and he had a hemorrhagic stroke and he passed away. He had a business degree. He had like the fancy house in a white Jewish community. That's what a lot of Black people are chasing after right now. Once they get a little taste of financial freedom, you're like, oh, let me go to the suburbs and go live good near those white folks and be in their face. Don't do it. If you don't end up regretting it with your health, your children will regret it. And your children will wake up and say, oh, it's time to move to Africa. It's time to get out of here. That's like the trajectory. If you had a map of where the Black community is going in America, that's where it is. It started with slavery, obviously, but then you see Jim Crow, and then you see the factories, and then you see all these things as time goes by. And then there's this propaganda that's put in your mind of, oh, I need to go get in a white community. And so those of us who get a little bit of finances, get some wisdom, get some education, then we're like, oh, perfect. Let me go live in a white community next to these $1 million folks. And then what happens is your health suffers. Your health suffers for it because now you got to keep up with those mortgage payments. But you say you own your house. Most people in America don't own their house because they still have a mortgage. Until you pay that mortgage off, you don't own your house.
I'm not sure where you
I don't
left
know how
off.
people don't understand that part.
Where did you?
I was breaking down the root word mortgage. Mort means death.
Yeah.
So you're paying it till you die.
Yeah.
So Black parents, you know, they tried their best. They did what they believed was right at the time. But we're in the generation where it's the end days where you really have to try everything that you're being told. All the propaganda, try it against the word of the Most High and see. Yeah. It doesn't make sense to just go into debt month after month, year after year.
That's a good point. That's a good point. What she just said. You got to try it against the word of the Most High. Like, really.
Yeah.
Like, our last house that we stayed in, we was going back and forth with them. And you said, this is not righteous. And I'm like, yes, it's really not righteous.
Yeah, what they're trying to do. I don't play with folks.
Yeah. It's just like, you really got to be like that. If it's not of the Most High word, if it's not righteous, if it's not, you know, in his spirit and stuff, it shouldn't sit right with you.
It shouldn't, especially debt. This is why this is such an important topic. Credit card debt, mortgage debt, all debt. Americans are just debt based. And then, you know, people come in the comments, they're like, oh, well, it's good to just have your debt in America, the American housing system.
It's not funny, but
why are you laughing?
It's just how you be saying it. It's good
serious.
to have
they
that.
Be in the comments going at us because they want to be in debt. No, ma'am, no, sir.
I'm just glad. Okay, our journey though. We talking about
that's part of the journey because my dad passed away. That's the journey.
Okay, that's where you left
for
off?
me. That's the journey.
Okay, so
acknowledging when my dad passed away. Oh, he passed away at 53 years old, high blood pressure, trying to be like the Joneses.
We are the Joneses.
I know, but trying to be like the Joneses.
Okay.
The Ashkenazi Joneses.
Oh, the other Jones. I was about to say we are the Joneses.
Not us.
Oh.
No, trying to be like the Joneses, and it's like, what did that get him at the end of his life?
Yeah, debt. Yeah, because once
and
he
health.
passed stuff down, it's just
health is wealth.
Different. Yeah, shalom, family. Welcome, guys. Thanks for tuning in to the live. If you're in the chat, make sure you like the video. We appreciate it. Let us know where everyone is tuning in from.
Yeah.
What is 46 people in here? We got 18 likes. So let us know where you tune in from. We always enjoy seeing where everybody's from.
Yeah. And you know,
but we continue.
After we tell our story, you guys are going to learn the top 5 assets you need to actually leave America. So be on the lookout for that towards the end of the video. Try to watch it all the way through. I know patience is like far and few to come by, but it really does help you if you can just learn and be patient. I'm not going to come for you. I got to remember patience with y'all too. Okay, so the journey, my dad. Yeah, that is what that whole thing taught me, because at the end of his life, they took away right before the end of his life, they took away his retirement. Mm-hmm. And so he had a business degree, and my whole thing was he had this business degree. He never got to open his own business. And for me, it's like, okay, I need to open a business. It's like I need to continue the legacy, although he did the best he could with what he had, because he was in the generation where you go to the military. That's what he did. If you're Black, you go to the military. His dad, if you're Black, you go to the factory and get an education. We're the generation now that has the decision, am I going to stay in white European America, or am I going to invest somewhere where my children can actually inherit wealth and not debt? Inheriting debt is not passing wealth down. Inheriting debt is not passing wealth down. And when you pass away, because everyone passes away in America with American debt, your kids inherit that American debt.
Really? Yeah, that's what really happened.
Yeah, your kids inherit that American debt. And so for us being young, it was like, okay, we're going to have to change the trajectory because we got 5 children
Yeah.
that look up to us.
Now,
And that was also the time where the Most High
but at the
put
time,
his
what?
hand on us and woke us up and said, "You're my
Yeah,
people."
that's why I had
All of
to.
that at that
I
time.
had to quit City Barbecue
Yeah.
because every day I have to cook pork. I'm like, man, I'm not even supposed to be touching this. I can't even touch this. And then, like, if you cooking, you got to taste it a little bit. So I'm like, man, I can't keep doing this, man.
Yeah.
I'm waking up to this truth. We can't be touching no pig. We can't touch no pork. This and
Yeah.
that, and I'm cooking it every day, touching it. And I'm like, look, something got to change. I can't keep touching this pork.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that I found another opportunity and stuff. But
Yeah, you
yeah,
just
that was
gotta
the
trust
same
him.
time when the Most High woke us
All
up.
of that was the same time when the business started. When we really shortly after we woke up, we said we ain't staying here.
Yeah.
Ain't no way on earth.
But what did you say to me when you was starting to make a little money?
What did I say?
It's a video on it.
I don't remember.
Dang, we did a video on it. You remember the yellow house in Mushulami?
Yeah. I said that I was thinking about going back to work.
No, you said
What?
it was something like dang, it's that the video title. You gotta look on our YouTube.
No,
You'll
it's
catch
I
it.
know what you're talking about, but you're wording it different.
You said my husband made me
Quit my job.
yeah
Yeah.
to start to continue my business,
Yeah.
and that's where it started.
Yeah.
Cause she was saying, I don't know. I mean, we don't have like the money that we need and stuff, but
Right. Back in
this
2018.
this can really be profitable in like a year or two. And I said, go ahead, do what you gotta do, and we are here now, just
Yeah.
because we made that choice.
Yeah, that sacrifice. Business is a sacrifice. Getting out of debt is a sacrifice.
Yeah,
It's not all glitz and glam, especially the first few years, because you're going to be trying in those first few years to see if you really have a passion for what you're going to do. If you don't have a passion for it, you won't do it. It's that simple. And it's the same thing when people move to Africa and then move back to America. You don't have a passion for it. Things that you have a passion for, you don't give up on. Right?
exactly.
And this article here is crazy on CNN. Americans' cost of living, this was just from last month. America's cost of living remains a massive headache even as recession fears fade. My client and I were actually talking the other day about the recession, and she was talking about how thankful she was and happy she was because her clients, the recession doesn't affect them. And then for me, as a business owner that serves her, I'm like, wow, thank the Most High that the recession also doesn't affect us. And there's the scripture that says that the Most High's people that are righteous will eat in the famine. So y'all, you gotta take a chance on yourself.
Thank you.
You gotta invest in yourself. And we'll give you a few tips. We have 5 main assets that you guys are going to need if you want to leave America. 5 main assets. The first one is your skill set.
Just list them all, and then we'll talk about them.
Okay, list them all first. So I'll list them. Skill set, finance, international accounts, stocks, your mindset, your spiritual foundation, and passport or multiple residences.
Yes.
So number one, skill set. You have to have the skills.
You gotta know your talent. You gotta know your skills. And like really one-on-one consultations and stuff, people be like, oh, what kind of business should I start? I'm thinking about coming over here and farming. I never farmed before, but I see it and I know it's gonna be good. But back in high school, I used to draw a lot. I used to do this. I used to do this a lot, and that's something that okay. That's your skill, right? Although that you want to invest in farming or real estate or something and you never really did it, you got to know your skills. What really excites you? I remember what really excited me was like details. Like I'm very or detail oriented, right? So I like coding, I like creating websites, right? I like analyzing stuff, right? I like editing like videos and stuff. Make it perfect. Just like I said at the beginning of the video,
Mm-hmm.
I like to perfect stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So when we say skills and like talents, that's what we mean. You gotta really find your purpose, really find your skill,
Yeah, yeah, for
and I'm
sure.
telling you that would, I'm telling you, shoot you way up. It will shoot you way up
Yeah,
because if she was trying to go be a nurse,
right,
man, I don't know, I don't know where we'd be.
right.
We'd be stuck. We'd be
We
in New
be,
Albany or something.
yeah, we be in a much different world. We be in a much different world.
But she realized, hey, I like to write,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna write.
yeah,
And what writing means, strategizing, thinking, and stuff like that. I'll let you talk about it, but
yeah. I
yeah.
write every single day, every day.
So you got to
I
know
write
your
every day.
skills, and once you do that, it's all good.
Yeah. And with your skill set, once you know what your skill set is, you're going to have to study to perfect it. Like you were just saying, reading books, taking courses, because it's one thing to know your skill, but then if you're the type of person that is a little bit lazy, like Proverbs says, the diligent make rich, the hands of the diligent makes rich. If you're lazy with what you're doing and you're not interested in investing your time and your money into your skill set, then your skill set's not going to grow. Because right now there's a shift in the market, which is super good for those of us that like to learn, super good for those of us that are into education and into things like that. But if you're someone that doesn't like to learn, you don't like to ever be in a humble position, you're going to find it very, very, very hard in this market, because the old way of going to college to get paid a lot is not working. A lot of people are going to college to be stuck in
Let's
debt.
answer this. Somebody asks, what skills are useful other than farming?
Yeah, well, there's a multitude of them. There's an entire list. We actually did a video, 40 skill sets that you can actually use in
Yeah,
Africa. 40 ideas. But just off the top of our heads, writing, that's number one.
yeah.
Writing is a top skill set that will never go out of market communications, because those farmers are going to have to be able to communicate to find people to have their products.
Analyzing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I don't
That's
know
number
how to
one too,
explain
though.
it,
Data
but
analysis.
look, I'm the one to be like analyzing, and then she'll break it down. So
Data
excuse our
analysis.
relationship, but this is
Seriously
us.
though.
Yeah,
Data
go ahead.
analysis.
Yeah,
Because that's a huge part of our business, that we're able to look back and see what worked in the past to see, okay, this is where we need to amplify. Without data analysis, you don't know where you're going. Again, that lines up with scripture where it says in Deuteronomy, ask the forefathers and they'll tell you.
yeah.
It's the same idea. You have to look back to see what's going on to know where you're going. That's 100% a top skill set. Number three, what's another one?
Mm, I don't know. I just perfection. You like
Education.
education.
Education is top.
You gotta love to learn. Because if you love to learn and you like to do stuff and perfect stuff, you can do anything.
Yeah,
And
with the
that's what I'm saying. I don't know how to explain it, guys.
well, I was gonna say, with the same topic of farming, guess what? Somebody has to come in and educate those farmers. How's everybody gonna learn to farm if nobody knows how to educate people on farming? Because
Exactly.
farming isn't just farming, right? Farming is a lot of stuff. Farming is connecting with the market, because we've actually worked with Tanzanian farmers and actually helped them to structure their businesses. Okay. And so farming isn't just, oh, put some seeds in the ground. Farming is looking at the seasons. Farming is finances, because you got to know how you're going to operate the farm. Farming is marketing and communications, because you got to get to the buyers. Farming is networking, because you better be at some networking events or have a network to contribute to. Farming is a lot of stuff. Thank you, Osman Kane. Thank you so much. You are so great. Any advice for someone moving to Ghana with no business ideas? Yeah, look back at your history and see what you love to do. Start there. And when you're so used to working at a 9 to 5, it can be difficult at first to say, well, I don't love to do anything. I promise you, you love to do something. Go back to your childhood and just think about the things that came natural to you, because 10 times out of 10, there's a market
Oh,
for that,
$10.
especially in Africa.
Asante Sana. Thank you. Thank you guys for donate. Wow, $10. 10 out of 10.
We appreciate it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, farming. That was it. I was just answering his question about the skill set and or business ideas for
Yeah,
Ghana.
and most I'm telling you, if you're from America, if you're from other than a, and I hate to say it this way, but America taught us uh, things where we can come over here in a third world country and be a leader and be, I don't like to say a boss, but a manager or a project manager and stuff like
But
that.
a lot of the infrastructure was actually created by our ancestors and they stole it. So
Yeah,
America didn't teach us, our
I mean, we,
ancestors
we,
left
we
it
got it.
behind
We
in
got it
America.
all in us, but critical thinking. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Critical thinking,
Yeah,
because
that's
you come
another
over
good
here
one.
and you look at people like, why you doing A B C D, and you can just do A to D.
But they also have to be willing to learn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but most of the stuff that I see, that's how I think. I like to
Yeah.
think A to D. Not if you don't have to do A B C D and you can do AD, I'm telling you, that's perfect.
Yeah, you're a systems optimizer. That's what that is.
Say it
People
again.
that a systems optimizer.
I ain't never heard that.
Because we hired one in the business and she came in and looked at everything. She was like, boom, 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 connect all the dots. I was like, oh, that makes life easy. Okay.
Yeah,
And so if you have a mindset like that, like my husband, you're good at seeing something, seeing a set of data, seeing what somebody's doing and saying, oh, why are you doing it like that? That's going to take longer. If you just do XYZ, it's going to make it quicker and more efficient and you're going to get more impact. That's called a business manager, an operations consultant. There's no lack, there's a huge demand for that on the continent. But you're going to have to start it before you get here because
yeah,
people are going to wonder what you did in America. And so if you don't start while you're in America, it's going to be a problem because they're going to be like, well, if you've never done it in America, why are you going to come here and do it? And that's wisdom. It's a good question. If you never done it, why are you going to pop up in Africa and say, now you're going to do it? That's not wise. Start now. Start
yeah.
today.
Start now. Start today.
Today.
Yeah,
So you can get out of debt because it doesn't make sense for our people to be passing down debt to the generations after them. It doesn't make sense when you have biblical laws. This is why y'all need to read your Bibles and not just reading for debates. Reading your Bible to see, okay, if the borrower is a slave to the lender, let me not be a massive borrower.
yeah,
Because if you're a slave to the lender, y'all, the Bible said our folks are a slave to a lender because we like to borrow from America too much. It goes back to the video on consumerism, and people say, well, there's not that much consumerism. Yes, it is. America is the top consumerist nation on the planet. And probably, just the past few hundred years, if you think about what societies are similar to America, you won't come up with many. You won't come up with many. And that's just reality. It's a hard truth, but it's better to just hear this on YouTube than to pass down debt, struggle, and disease to your children because all of these things are what's that term? Not hereditary, generational sins, generational transgressions.
yeah,
When you're not supposed to be in debt and pass debt to your children. When you're not supposed to be stressed out all day working for some European man.
yeah. There's ways to literally work 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day,
Some people don't believe it.
and you're good.
We work 3 or 4 hours a day,
Yeah.
literally. Let us know if you believe that it's possible to work 3 or 4 hours a day. Let us know. If does anyone believe it's possible to work 3 or 4 hours a day and get paid a full-time income?
More than a full-time income.
Yeah, we make more than we did back in 2018, 19, 20. Well, every year it just increases and compounds. But that's because we make our money work for us, which goes back to the next. We just handled skill set. That was a long one, but skill set leads to business ownership. Now, number two, the second asset you need to leave America is financial management and your international banks. Now, this is where we had like a viral video years ago going over the banks that we use
Yeah.
because a lot of people mess up here. Let's bring it closer so everybody can hear. This is important information. This is if you don't take nothing else and you're trying to leave America. If you use any bank account, you are going to run the risk of your bank being shut down, number one. And then you're going to be paying crazy ATM fees, like $11 per ATM swipe when you don't have
Man,
to.
I'm telling you, especially coming over here to the continent. Ooh, I hear people they like, man, I want to keep going to the ATM because it's gonna be an ATM fee $4 or $5. Then your bank in America charge you $4 or $5. Every time you spend $12 to take money out, that's
That's
not
not that
wise.
adds up. So
That's not
instead,
wise.
you need to be going somewhere like Charles Schwab, Wise, or SoFi. That's where you need to be going
Yeah.
because these are all banks that are nomad friendly, have no ATM fees. Hey Tracy, members only, no ATM fees. And so people ask us, how do you stay abroad so long? Because we strategized and planned it out for years and found all the best resources, and it still pays off today.
Really? Yeah, we've been using the same bank to
Same
to this day.
4 accounts, 3 accounts,
Yeah.
and they work out well. They weren't shut down, nothing crazy like that.
Yeah,
But because
right.
we
One
did the
did shut
research,
down.
not for long, they ain't shut down.
They shut
I
down and
reported them. I said,
what
don't do
happened?
that because
Yeah,
that's called
tell
false
the story.
advertising.
Tell the story.
Yeah, y'all may not know. As a writer and a critical thinker and a strategic person, I look at everything that these businesses say. I look at everything people tell me. And when you're not keeping your word, I'm coming for that because you're supposed to keep your word. So this bank one time that brands themselves as a digital nomad bank, they froze our funds. And so I was like, oh no, child, you lost it. So let me tell you what I did. I went on the Better Business Bureau website. I don't even remember how I got this idea. I was just like, this is false advertising. Me as a marketing person, I know what false advertising is. So that's the first thing that comes in my mind. And so I
Mhm.
report them to the Better Business Bureau. Then all of a sudden, everything's unfrozen. No
Yeah.
issue since.
That's how we was waiting like 3 months.
Yeah.
We had like $2,000 just frozen.
Yeah.
But
It was like savings
that
at that
tells
time.
us that you gotta have multiple banks. You
That's
gotta
what we
have
tell
multiple cards.
y'all. We tell our students, our clients in Dream Life Africa, we tell our business consulting clients, we tell everybody this. We tell you this right now on live. You got to have multiple accounts, right? You have to diversify your income, you have to diversify your life, you have to diversify everything. So that's finance international accounts. Number 3.
Yeah.
This is one we just started doing recently. This is stocks. This is stocks. We have started investing in stocks, and it is wonderful because it gives us money for our money. Like our money when we're sleeping, our money makes money. You wake up and you're like, oh, great, more money.
Yeah.
No debt. Fantastic. Let's put that in savings. Let's invest that back into stocks. Now, I'm going to tell you 1 or 2 stocks that we use. We use the Japanese hedge fund because we know the world is becoming an Eastern world. So we use the Japanese hedge fund. It never dips. I'm telling you, the chart be
We gotta
like
start
up, up,
using
up.
India. India about to pass China.
Right. The Japanese hedge fund. And then we use gold. We invest in gold. And so this helps us to book trips. When we want to travel, when we want to go do something, when we want to go explore and world school, we look at our stocks and say, great, how much do we have? Where can we go? What can we do? Fantastic. So that's not eating into our income. That's the stocks that we put there. That's not eating into our monthly payments for, housing and all these things and food. That's the stock money right there. Okay. So that's that. You can do that through SoFi. You can do that through many apps, but
Yeah.
that's number 3.
And I'll say, get that trade too. Just I don't want to say the stock market, but there's many ways of trading, um, and that's literally a business that you can do. If you learn that skill set, you can make thousands of dollars.
Yep.
Like really. So once you learn that skill set, I believe everybody should get a basic understanding of it
Yeah.
because if you do, that's really life changing.
Yeah.
That's really life changing.
Especially if you do it early.
Yeah.
It's good to do it early so that you can just set yourself up to get out of debt. There's no reason for Americans to be in this much debt. It doesn't make sense.
I'm telling.
It don't make sense.
Man, it's so much that we can tell y'all. But
There's so much.
we're just looking up
We gotta write a book.
the government contracts and all that.
Yeah. We'll save that for another day.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Because that's like
Even the huge tech company, it's like, yeah.
Like,
that's
you
why we
literally
just want to
can-
share with y'all
yeah.
because y'all need to know this. I don't want to hear no black
Life
people
changing.
in 2024 say the black people are broke and don't have money, don't have skills. I don't want to hear it anymore. If y'all come on this channel with that, I'm deleting you.
Don't be so. Why are you trying to be so mean?
Straight up, because it's reality. Because you can't just be attached to a spirit of poverty and then want that for your whole community
Well,
and
that's
want
what
that
it
for your
is.
children.
That's what it is.
That's twisted. That's wicked.
I know, but you gotta speak. Some people might not know that.
Well, I mean, on Judgment Day,
it's a spiritual thing.
it is. On Judgment Day, we're going to have to be accountable for all of this propaganda and things that we put ourselves under. If y'all need to fast, y'all need to just meditate and talk to the Most High, pray for a while, and ask Him what's going on. Because a lot of our people are in a spiritual bondage, and that's number 4, mindset spiritual.
Yeah, that's just
Your mind is in a set.
Really?
Your mindset is in a set. The Most High, your connection with Him. That's the greatest asset you could ever have.
That's the greatest energy. That's the greatest.
Frequency. Everything. That's your whole life right there.
Everything.
Your entire life, the Most High. And that's how we started. That even goes back to the journey, just coming into the biblical truth. All of this at the time that we want to start a business, all this at the time we want to move to Africa. The Most High, understanding His laws. And not just understanding, Passover, this, Sabbath. Beyond that, what laws are you keeping? Are you keeping the laws in Proverbs 6:16? Or are you running around being a false accuser? Are you running around in poverty being lazy? A lot of our people are in bondage because we do not keep His laws, even though we say we keep His laws, but we take His name in vain.
Yeah.
And then we prance around in church or in, whatever religious thing and say, I'm keeping the laws, even though you got the spirit of poverty, spirit of, whatever spirits, and you're just running around.
It just depends when you leave your household, how do you treat people? How do you walk around? Like, really, that's what it is. If you really truly believe in the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, how you gonna treat your neighbor?
Yeah, right.
Like, and that's just a reflection of yourself. How do you love yourself?
Yeah.
How do you discipline yourself?
Yeah. Do you live with false accusations? Now you done created a whole delusion scenario in your head because you didn't even do the due diligence, right?
Yeah. Yes, guys, make sure you like the video. Give us a like if you love what we're talking about. Not like, you gotta love it.
Yeah, because mindset, that's critical. Once you get out of the poverty mindset, poverty is a mindset, it's a spirit, it's a whole thing that was strapped on our people, of course, from Deuteronomy 28. But it doesn't have to be any longer when we have the Messiah, when we have His Bible truth, where we are in a new time, where you can choose to figure out how to follow His ways. And so you read the first part, Deuteronomy 28, and you're like, oh, this is all blessings.
And then
you
short.
study Abraham. Yeah,
it's very short and it's simple. That's what it tells me. It's very simple, but everybody makes it super confusing.
I don't know why. It's not that confusing. And then you read, well, here's what they need to do. They need to get out of the church and assemblies. You need to go speak to the Most High for yourself. You don't need an advocate. You don't need a lawyer to speak to the Most High on your behalf. You don't need that to go read the Bible. Pray for understanding if you don't understand. But yeah, because you see people like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and you see, we did this in a previous video, Jacob literally wrestling with a messenger, an angel, for his blessing, his inheritance. Now, if Jacob would have been a limited poverty mindset person, he would have said, oh, let me go be humble and not care about my children after me. But he didn't do that. He wrestled the messenger, the angel, for the blessing and said, I'm not going to let you go until you bless me, because I know my Father has the blessing for me. So that tells you the mindset of our forefathers. Our forefathers couldn't go nation to nation and be broke.
Yeah.
People would laugh at them. If you go into these nations, you like, please help me. Like, no. That would make the Most High look strange. The Most High is a provider. He has provision set apart for you. But a lot of our people don't believe it. We're too stuck in slavery mentality. We're comfortable in slavery mentality. because it's been given to you generation after generation. And I understand that only one third of
Deep,
people will get it. And so that is what it is. Hopefully you're part of the one third that gets it.
Yes, it's very deep. It's a lot of chains that got to be broken.
Yep.
It's a lot of strongholds that got to be broken.
Yep.
And that's just every day, and that's us too. That's her, as me. That's everybody, really. It's a mental battle every day.
Yeah. And you win the battle when you just speak the word and read Proverbs.
Exactly.
You can win the battle. The battle's already won, but you gotta believe it. You gotta believe it's won. So that's number 4. Number 5, the last one, and then we'll answer the questions. Now, this is a fantastic one that we just started. Not just started, but kind of getting more into. Passport, multiple residences. Currently, we are like, why have one residence when you can have 2 or 3? Why have one passport when you can have 2? This is for you guys that are in America. Before we left, because I knew I wanted to go to Africa, I said, let me take an African ancestry DNA test to see what tribe I'm from. I found out I'm from the Timne tribe of Sierra Leone. A few years later, this was back in 2018, back then in 2021, they announced, oh, we're giving citizenship if you know you're from Sierra Leone and you can prove it. Oh, word, let me hop over there and get my passport.
Oh, word.
Why are you laughing at me? That's how I think now. I'm like, oh, cool, what's up? Let me go get my passport. What am I waiting for? Why have one passport when you can have multiple passports? Why have one residence when you can have multiple residences? In visa-free countries for African Americans.
Yeah.
Relationships is another one we didn't put on the list. Even the relationships that you have in Africa, that's an asset in itself, because we have created strategic relationships with Tanzanians, with people as we need them, and it has paid off. Who you know in Africa matters. If you're going to come to Africa and think you don't need to know nobody, you're going to be right back in America.
Yeah. You just gotta, man.
That's not how Africa
and
works.
it just goes back to the foundation. It really does. Because if we came over here with the mindset of America and that survival mindset, like America teaches us,
you'd be back in America.
I'd probably be in jail.
I'm sick of you.
For real. If we did not if we did not have that foundation of the Most High, moving over here, it'd have been totally different.
Yeah.
Because America teach you. I'm telling you, we met people like that, and what happened to them?
That's true. That's a good point.
They get robbed by people. They get hurt.
That's a good point. Yeah. That's
so
true.
It really starts at the foundation, and that's what we really try to just tell people. When people say, "What's the most important thing like coming over here?" It's not money. It's really the foundation.
Yeah, you gotta know the Most High's laws. You have to understand these universal laws that He has created, where it's literally like, as you see the sun rise, as you see the moon, as you see the clouds, as you see the wind, all these things, these are all laws. And if you look in the book of Proverbs, if you look in Deuteronomy, you see all of these laws. And then you start speaking them and being obedient to them. This is why nobody can turn us away from the Most High. It doesn't matter who comes and says, oh, what about this religion? What about this? None of that is truth, because we have practiced His ways and we've seen the fruits of it. So I would never in life turn away, because it's working out for me. So I'm gonna keep doing His ways. I'm gonna keep the Bible. I don't care who says it's the white man's book, the gray man's book, the orange man, I don't care, because the law's working for me. I'm not in debt. Thanks to the Most High, because His law said what? The buyer is a slave to the lender. The borrower is a slave to the lender. Okay, I don't want to be a slave. Let me not borrow too much money.
Shalom.
He said the hands of the diligent make rich. Oh, let me not be slack and lazy. Let me go get to work.
Sorry, I'm so sorry, y'all. It's nighttime, getting cold. My allergies starting to come back. We outside, so I keep coming over here, coming back, sniffing. I hope this doesn't distract you guys from what needs to be heard.
Yeah, even the law about generosity. He said in Micah, I believe it was, where He said, come and bring tithes into my storehouse and see if you won't get more than enough blessing than you have room to receive. Oh, cool. Let me go find somebody to give to.
Yeah.
not some millionaire church pastor, somebody that's poor, an actual poor person. Then you'll always be taken care of. So people are like, well, how do you move to Africa? You follow these ways, you follow these laws. And then as you're following the laws, he starts to show you what to invest in, where to put your business funds, how to increase your skill set, how to diversify, how to do all these things. And before you know it, you're wiser than the people that came before you. That's what King David said in Psalms 119. I'm wiser than all of my teachers because I meditated on your ways. Then we only been out of America 4 years, maybe 4, 10, however many years later, you look back like, whoa,
Yeah.
glory to the Most High.
Yeah. Even to what? 2 years? 4 years? Yeah, 4 years. Wow. 2 years ago, we was in Tonga.
Yeah. Yeah.
With that big old blessing.
Yeah. The Most High, y'all, we would never, the things that we've experienced and received since coming into his knowledge is amazing.
Yeah, let's see where, is that all that we got to talk about?
Yeah.
Let's see where people's from. I know, you like to
leave your
share this
comments.
stuff.
Your questions, we'll get to the chat here soon.
So,
We'll get to the chat.
let's see where people's from. We see,
You want to read them? I thought you were.
go ahead. Oh, USA. Tampa, Florida, Illinois, Georgia, Zanzibar, Massachusetts.
You want to read?
Pennsylvania. Oh, I was just reading it. Go ahead.
My husband is a federal officer and I'm a nurse in New Jersey. We have always lived amongst our people in diverse middle class communities. We never lived in white communities. That's awesome. That's how you do it.
Pennsylvania, or Pittsburgh, South Carolina, Phoenix.
Why are so many African Americans now leaving Tanzania, and what makes moving to Tanzania so promising? Oh, I like that question. A lot of African Americans are leaving Tanzania because a lot of us came to Tanzania because it was the only country open in 2020. It was the only country open in the world in 2020. And so the folks that left were like, let me go ahead and just go to this country and then branch out from there.
Yeah.
So that's why folks are
and sometimes our people love to follow trends. And Tanzania was very trendy at the time.
Because it was the only country open.
So people was coming, and then they realized, man, it's not for me. And they had to go.
Yeah.
Like the land will spit you out. Africa will really spit you out.
Yeah.
Like that's no.
I think people spit themselves out though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Africa's problem.
It will reveal to you how America really messed us up.
Yeah, for sure. But there is a second part to that question. What makes Tanzania so promising? I think I like Tanzania because how vast it is, how affordable the living is, and how peaceful it is. That's what makes it promising.
Yeah. The people there, their culture, it's just different. It's really different.
Terms, Greece, and apologies for scaring them with our existing. Answering the question would help African Americans decide on their choice, please. In America, you might deal with fear of missing out when getting in debt, but it's worth stay the course. Facts awaken with Mark. Tropical swine is absorbed through the capillaries. I signed up for your workshop. Can't wait. Hey, see you in the workshop. America is definitely on the verge of collapse, and under Yah's judgment, we're planning our retirement this year in Durban, South Africa.
That's great.
I'm so excited for you because I want to visit South Africa.
Retirement. Ooh, I can't wait
to. Why should we come to Tanzania, and what does Tanzania have for us? That is what I'd like to know. There are a lot of our people leaving Africa and returning to America. I would not tell you to go to Tanzania. I would instruct you to go to where the Most High sends you, and he would probably send you to a place that is visa-free for African Americans. That's what I would advise you. My husband is and was in Tanzania, a town called Arusha. Ooh, I hear Arusha is gorgeous. We didn't get to visit Arusha. I hear it's so gorgeous. I felt like the majority. Yes, I felt like I belonged. I enjoyed the fresh fruits and vegetables and cried when it was time to go. Yes, Africa is the type of place, once you experience it, That's why we knew when we left in 2020, we are not going back to America. I already knew once I hit Africa, there ain't no way I'm gonna go back to seeing Europeans everywhere. Absolutely not. I'm gonna be right where the people look like me.
Mhm.
Absolutely not. See, the way I grew up though, I wasn't around my people, so I have zero patience for that. Absolutely none. Greetings, family, new subscriber. Hey, welcome to the family. Thank you for subscribing. If anyone has questions about what's required to get over there, can they email you? Sure. Any advice for someone moving to God? We already did that.
What's our email?
It's on the, if you go to our channel, you'll find it in the description. Yeah, you're promoting our people leave America. We already answered the question. I think some people, critical thinking is hard to come by these days. What African country can we enter by boat without passport? And when America blocks us from leaving, can you enter by boat? I don't know. I never thought of that, honestly.
They really be locking down the waters.
I
If you
wouldn't
really
try to
trying,
go to Africa by
yeah.
boat. I wouldn't suggest that.
Unless you got all your paperwork.
Riding a boat that's legalized and but my people, please. y'all gotta use wisdom. You gotta use wisdom. I also wouldn't try to go without a passport. Why would you leave without it? I wouldn't do that. I don't suggest you do that. Y'all gotta use wisdom. That question, please use wisdom. Don't pay American debt owes us. We won't pay, therefore we shouldn't either. But the scripture says the borrower is a slave to the lender, and so people need to pay off their debt. I don't pay your debt. I just wouldn't, because you're gonna find yourself in a very difficult situation if you do that. If you try to leave America and you're like, I'm not doing none of this, I hate all of this. I mean, that's your choice, but that's not wise if you have a family and children. I would be a righteous person in that aspect and give Caesar what's due to Caesar and give the Most High what's due to him.
Yeah, and that's important. What you just said, you really got to give Caesar to what Caesar.
Yeah.
Like you really like.
Don't try to overthrow the system.
Don't be like, oh no, they owe us. You got to give Caesar what's Caesar's. It's really that simple.
Because his army is bigger than yours.
Yeah.
You ain't got an army. System optimizer, never heard of it. I can look into it. Such a gift and blessing to finally have the words. Yes. Yeah. Systems optimizer, online business manager, operations consultant. Absolutely. Those are in super high demand across the does not want to handle everything. And they don't have the capacity. That's why they have people working for them.
Yeah, and that's what it is. You got to have people working for you. I mean, you can start it out, but once you get your money flow and your cash flow, that's how people really make big money.
Yeah, that's why we have people working for us. We've brought in system optimizers, virtual assistants, writers, and these people across the continent, because the continent has talented people. Hired people in South Africa and Kenya. The stock exchange is the best way to learn long time incomes through dividends, for sure. It's like, wow, if you just have the patience. Sierra Leone has got programs for citizenship when you trace your lineage. That happened for a film friend. Yes. Sierra Leone is great with that. I love how West Africa is waking up. I absolutely love that. Would you advise if passport is not possible? I don't know how you would leave without a passport. You have to have a passport.
Go to another country, like a Caribbean country?
You can't get out of America without a passport. You're gonna get somewhere out of America without. That's not possible. What time is it over here? It's 7:10 p.m. Facts awaken with Mark. The Most High will put us in houses we did not build. That's scripture.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are welcome. Hey, family. Any comments? I mean, any questions? I keep saying any comments. Any questions? When we were on time out for the pandemic, TZ and Rwanda news was huge back in 2020. It was. My African ancestry is Gabon, the Fang people. Ooh, that's cool. I don't hear about that tribe often, and I know a lot of different tribes. I don't hear about them often. What countries do you think revolutionaries from California would like most? West Africa? Any West African country? Probably Senegal,
I think
Ghana,
if
Sierra
you come to
Leone,
Africa, you're gonna
Liberia,
love it. It's so vast. It has inland,
Rwanda.
it has coastland, just everywhere.
It
Everywhere
is.
Africa.
It is. It's very vast. It's extremely vast. Yeah, ask the Most High where you should go. Where has the least mosquitoes? No burning fires. That's a good question. Least mosquitoes. I'd probably say somewhere inland. If you don't like mosquitoes, stay away from the coast. Maybe Botswana. Not a lot of burning fires. They have very low corruption. It seems
That
like
was
they
all the
keep the
questions.
country
Cool.
very clean.
We went through that pretty quick.
Yeah, Waking with Mars, you can easily get your passport at the post office. Exactly. And then even if you're in some kind of odd situation where you feel like you can't get a passport, look into getting an attorney. And don't just count yourself out and say, I can't afford an attorney. You would be shocked to see a lot of these attorneys work free. They do. They work pro bono a lot of times. But you first have to believe that you're worthy of that. See, this is why we tell y'all mindset is so important. Your mindset can keep you trapped in something for 10 years just because you don't believe it's possible. Just because you don't believe it's possible. You got to have your mindset on 100,000%. That's that's number one, because you can get all types of favor if you believe it's out there. How did folks out there deal with the eclipse? Nobody saw the eclipse from here. It was only visible in North America.
Yeah, the moon. The moon was before the sun, which is never mind. I'm not even gonna talk about that.
Nobody saw the eclipse out here. The thing about Africa, I don't know if South Africa and Kenya are like this because South Africa is more built up. But the thing about like 90% of countries in Africa, they don't pay attention to American news. And where our friends and family who come on here say, oh, everybody watches America, everybody knows America, it's actually not true.
I
Everybody does
think it's
not
only
watch American
Americans
news.
or people that's really want to go to America, or people that's been to America, or people that
Or rich.
just want to be like the Western society.
Yeah. Which is like maybe 5% of the population
Yeah.
any given time.
Most of the people here, they're very local. They're real. They save their money to build a house.
Yeah.
Or to buy a car, or like
Even
literally no debt.
Yeah. Even in Eastern, because we've also run into Asians, and you realize Indians, Chinese, Asians, Koreans, you realize they also don't go by Western news sources. They have their own sources. It's a whole different world. That's why we come on here and try to tell y'all this. A lot of people have the false notion because you haven't traveled outside of North America that everybody just knows everything about America. Everybody loves America, 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 America. And then you come to the eastern side of the world and see, oh, people actually don't really care for it all that much. Or even know what's going on because they don't even have those news sources. They're worried about their own culture and their own things, just living life. Any advice for getting around the vax for YF? Do you mean YouTube? YF? Repeat that question. Getting around the vax. Oh, like the okay. I got you. I was confused at first. I thought you meant because somebody asked me earlier about VAT tax, and I was like, I'm not in the UK, so I don't have that. But that's not what you were talking about. Okay. So to avoid pricks and stuff, number one, go to a country that doesn't require yellow fever. Tanzania doesn't require yellow fever if you're coming from America. That's another reason we chose Tanzania. They don't require yellow fever. So go somewhere that doesn't even require it. Just pull up on Google what countries do not require pricks and stuff. Oh, my language on YouTube. You gotta watch your language, y'all. Y'all know how it is. What do
this one.
what do Africans think the moon is since it wasn't always there?
Hmm? That's
Wait, you got me.
That's not, you're not doing that.
What do you mean by that? It wasn't there. What does that mean?
That's a good
Why
question.
y'all be turning up in the comments?
That's not. That's.
I'm sorry, y'all. It was always there. What does that mean? I got questions. Oh man. Oh man, that threw me off. That is too much. What in the world? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I think our people sometimes we have too much time on our hands and we start looking into stuff, and you just got to come down and focus on things that are more tangible instead of worrying about, whether the moon and sun and stars was there 90, whenever. Just try to come down to earth and be more tangible about things that you can receive right in your perspective. Don't stress yourself out with trying to be too wise is what I'm saying. And you can read the book Ecclesiastes on that, okay? Don't go out here trying to get 50 million forms of wisdom. It's just too much. Don't try to do all that. You're going to be confused, and that's why people confuse to this day. As far as fairy mobile structures, ooh, from America, you won't find that. Because the Atlantic Ocean is so big, I think that's why they don't do it now. On the European side, because I used to have a blog client that I would write for, and so you will find cruises from the Mediterranean to Africa. Okay, so if you're someone that wanted to like stay in Europe for a bit and then come down, maybe, but I have not seen anything like boats and ferries from America to Africa. Maybe in the future. They don't have them from America to Africa. They have them from the Mediterranean to Africa, but not America. I'm from Northern California, and allergies are terrible. How are allergies down in Tanzania? We're currently in another country. We're not in Tanzania. We're in southeastern Africa. I don't read fiction for historical reference. Thanks for this information. I've been watching your videos for about 2 weeks and planning my strategy. I appreciate you both. Shalom and love. You are welcome. Plan
Yes,
your
welcome.
strategy. You got this. You can do it. We
Allergies.
believe in you.
I want to talk about allergies real quick because it's
We
terrible.
believe in you.
I don't think it's allergies. I think it's just my body to temperature.
It's allergies.
It's like hot and then it's cold. Then I go to the refrigerator and it's cold.
Hi,
And
baby.
then I come back and it's hot.
It's allergies.
Mommy.
But it's no allergies really here like that.
But we grew up in America getting all the pricks and stuff, so
Mommy.
I hear that causes a lot of allergies. Those old pricks we used to get, all those old ones they had.
That's a good question here.
Why is it that so many Black American repatriates don't own their homes? I want to move, but I can't fathom renting again. Ownership is very important to me. Mostly because most Black Americans haven't been in Africa longer than 4 years.
Mommy.
The vast majority of African Americans have just started doing this in about 2018.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at the ones who have been here longer than that, they do own their homes, especially in West Africa. You'll see a lot of ownership. But it's a new movement. And so it takes time to do that. Rome wasn't built in a day, and so your house won't be built in a day. Now, if you go to West Africa, like Ghana, you go to Nigeria, right? You go to these places where there's a track record of people having ownership that's different.
Yeah.
Rwanda's good for that as well.
Africa's
Zanzibar.
just slow. And they just got a strong hand over them.
And you're also not going to be, because a lot of people don't know this, Africa's a cash-based society. So you're not going to get like a $200,000 mortgage and then finance it. You need to pay in cash for your home. So that means most people are going to have to save for a long time before they go ahead and buy their home outright to pay in cash.
All right,
they have very minimal financing options. Gianna. Say hi to Gianna, guys. But yeah, Africa is a cash-based society. you're not going to find a lot of like debt and stuff. And so a lot of people use that financing to buy homes and cars and all types of things in America. Then they come to Africa and they're like, whoa, how do I live in a world that's cash based? Well, you have to have self control and save your money. Then you can have the plan to own your house or build your house. But you also have to be in a country that allows you to do that.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of intricacies with Africa, and that's why we actually give you guys so many different resources so you can understand those intricacies, because it's not that simple when you have 54 different countries in Africa. Every country has its own law. It's its own independent body. So what works in one place may not work in another place. What's great in one place may not be like that in the other. We rented our first year in Rwanda. Rwanda seems so gorgeous. Can you get dual citizenship in
Depends on
Sierra
the
Leone?
country.
In Ghana?
Is Kenya?
I
think
don't
Kenya
know.
too.
Maybe so.
But
Kenya.
he's been in
Tanzania, you can't
they-
do
you
dual
gotta-
citizenship. You
So,
can't do dual citizenship.
You really
there.
just gotta do your research with dual citizenship.
I know definitely Ghana, Sierra Leone, Nigeria, a lot of West African countries. I think South Africa too. So those are those intricacies y'all have to be aware of. Tell them again, while the return on the initial passport is quick, receiving it within 3 weeks if their records are clear now. Yeah, passports are simple. Usually, unless you have some kind of weird issue. But for the average person, passports are simple. And if you have some kind of legal issue, you need to talk to an attorney. And again, don't count yourself out. See if you can get some pro bono rates. Chances are you might want to rent before you own a house anywhere in Africa in case you have to move again for any reason. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's another mistake people make. And then end up returning to America or saying, oh, Africa isn't that great.
Yeah.
You just didn't plan. You can't. If you've been in America your whole life, you draw out all your savings and then you just throw money at something without having lived there for at least 3 years. You don't know if you like something until you live there for years. You don't know.
Yeah, let's talk about what's coming up and stuff.
Ghana specifically, not sure about others. Please, if you know any website that you can share, I would appreciate it. Ghana, yeah, Ghana does dual citizenship for sure, absolutely, because there's there's dozens of people in Ghana that have there's Ghanaian citizenship and have been in Ghana for decades. Because Ghana has a law where if you've been there after 5 years, you can apply for citizenship. It's not that easy to get, but in Africa, nothing is that simple because that's just Africa. Oh gosh. Even if the person has a felony, you can still receive your passport depending on what type of felony it falls under. That's what I thought. Yeah, most people are good as far as passports aren't that difficult to get. Like we've been saying, go to the post office. That's where we got all ours. And when you're abroad, you can even renew your children's passport while you're abroad. We've done that.
Gee, you gotta be quiet, man.
Just by going to the U.S. Embassy in whatever country you're in. Y'all gotta know the different systems that are available and understand how it works so you can leverage it for your good and for the generations after you. Any last questions before we get off the line? Off the live, not line. We on a line? Phone line? That's what I was thinking about. Phone line. We ain't on the phone line. We on the live line. Any last questions? That sums it up, y'all, because you got to get out of debt, stay out of debt. We'll read the assets one last time. Hold on, G, I got to read the assets. That you need to travel outside of America, live in Africa. You need your skill set and your business ownership. You need finances, international accounts. You need stocks. You need to invest in stocks so that you have a travel fund, an emergency fund. You need to have your spiritual foundation on 1,000% because that is the foundation of everything you do. You need to come with the right mindset and learn the African cultures and traditions. And then you need to think about diversifying with multiple passports and multiple residences if you intend on staying in Africa long term. it's going to be smart to have different areas and different options that you can choose because we are in a world where things are changing. So you want to understand which areas are going to be safe, which areas where you're going to invest, which areas where you're going to live. You want to have that diversification. That wraps up this live.
No, you keep saying.
Any last comments, babe? I was talking to you, not them. I want to know if you have any last comments.
No, just make sure you guys click the links in the description. Check out our videos because it's a lot of questions that people had, and we made plenty of videos about
Right,
all the questions.
right.
So it's everything that we talked about. I'm pretty sure we got a video about what we talked about. So
Yeah.
check out the channel, check out the playlists. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the live.
Yes.
It's,
Shalom,
it's dinner time. They're getting
shalom.
hungry, so they right at the door. They right
Yeah.
at the door.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So we'll see y'all later. And I think I'm gonna eat ice cream tonight. So hopefully y'all get some ice cream too. See you later.
Yeah. I'm just probably I don't know. I'm gonna put a hot rag on my face. Yeah. So
Oh man.
yeah, shalom guys.
Shalom,
Have a
shalom.
good day. Have a good night.
Night.
Say bye, G.
Bye.
Say bye bye.
Bye bye.
You're so nice, Gigi.
Bye bye.